So making a profitable film production company isn't exactly the easiest thing to do per se. So today we're going to talk about exactly how to do just that, where to go from the beginning all the way to years in, and how to keep pushing on and what you should honestly expect, because most people have the wrong expectations about what this job even is and end up quitting before their big break just because they didn't know what they were getting into. Honestly, first and foremost, you just need to be obsessive about it. Like, I'm out here shooting in a parking garage out in public because I am obsessive over my craft. Some people might look at this and find it awkward. Some people might find it easy to do, but either way, it's a lot easier to just sit in your house or go to a 9 to 5 and just do regular work. This takes effort and getting into, and you need to love it and force yourself to love it to really do it. In this video, I'm really gonna talk about what jobs to go after, short films and spec ads, and how those are useful and how you should be utilizing them because they're pretty misunderstood, and how to overall just get better at what you're doing without falling into this pitfall trap of just laziness and losing focus of what you wanna do. Okay, first points up first. What jobs to get? I feel like this one is like completely misrepresented on YouTube. Everybody's like filmmaking, commercials, music videos, anything that looks good on your reel. I'm gonna be so real, completely useless. If your only goal is to shoot stuff that you wanna shoot, you're never gonna make it. You're gonna fail entirely. The answer to what jobs should you get is all of them. I'm gonna be honest, you run a business. If you're a creative, whether that's a content creator, gaffer, AC, DP, set designer, videographer, cinematographer, whatever you want to call yourself, you're a business owner. I suggest getting an LLC, but whether or not you have one really isn't indicative of whether or not you are a business owner. You want to be creative, you are one. Lots of times people worry about, oh no, am I getting back into a corner with doing weddings or doing social media content or doing events or whatever it is that you do. If you feel like you're getting backed into a corner, don't worry about it, because whatever industry you want to be in, they don't know who you are as a wedding filmmaker. They don't know you as, oh, that's the wedding guy. They only know you as what you're trying to promote yourself to them as. If you're trying to be a music videographer / DP, then just show them that stuff. There's no harm in getting money from other jobs that will help you kind of save time and mental clarity. The way I like to think of it is when I shoot weddings, I really don't have to DP. I'm just a videographer like 99.9% of the time. I get a Pinterest board, I have a call with the couple maybe once or twice, I go and shoot it, I edit it like I edit pretty much all of my other wedding videos, maybe slightly differently depending on what the client asks for, and I'm done. I don't have to think about it very heavily. That gives me space when I shoot a music video or I shoot a short film to really think about it and dive into that without being distracted, and also make money. You really need to keep in mind that this is a long-term career. Whatever you do today might affect tomorrow, but what will it affect in terms of years? Like in 10 years from now, are you still gonna be doing the same thing? If so, switch it up. But is shooting that one wedding or shooting a bunch of weddings or shooting that one music video or a bunch of music videos going to help you financially? Every single time. Will that help you 10 years from now? Absolutely. You will get better no matter what you do, as long as you take the time and effort to try and get better and not view it as, oh no, I have to do this. That's lazy, and you really need to love the job even if you hate it. The best advice I can give is set goals for yourself. You can set these long-term. I would strongly suggest that, hey, in 5 years, I wanna shoot my first feature-length documentary. Do everything else and work up to that. And in 10 years, I wanna shoot one doc that's a feature-length every single year. If those are your goals, that's great. Start setting monthly goals. Hey, I'm gonna shoot a mini doc that's 3 minutes long on whatever. You shoot it for free, no budget, at least you did it. Take steps and figure everything else out in due time. This is a career that should last decades. So what's 5 years? What's 10 years? It took you a quarter of your career to shoot your first feature-length doc. That's great. Most of your favorite directors and cinematographers didn't shoot their first big film until they were well into their 40s, 50s, or even 60s. Most of the guys who are getting big awards for cinematography or directing or anything else are old. They all have gray hair. You will be fine waiting until your 30s or 40s to get a super big break. Until then, shoot what you love and make it a career doing it by obsessing over it. But if you're enjoying this video so far, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me go into these super sketchy locations and shoot videos while feeling like it's worth it for you guys. I'm gonna get out of here before I get shot. Okay, now that I'm somewhere that I don't feel like I'm gonna get stabbed with a needle by a heroin addict, let's talk about short films and spec ads, because this is one aspect of filmmaking that content creators, videographers, and cinematographers, and many, many more types of people all want to make, do make, and have very false expectations of why they should be doing it, and to what benefit it actually provides. I feel like almost everybody is constantly creating some type of short film or spec ad all the time and telling you should do it too. And honestly, that's just not true. I feel like there's this instant gratification that you're told you should feel that you just don't. There's a lot of honestly bad advice about, hey, go make a short film, go make a spec ad, and you should expect this result within this amount of time, and it's completely wrong. I have two takes on spec ads first that I wanna talk about. First is you use them to transition out of a niche. I don't know what people think they're supposed to get out of a spec ad. I feel like you're just told, hey, make it and put it in your reel. Honestly, spec ads are very useful if you want to transition out of, hey, I don't want to do wedding filmmaking anymore, or hey, I've been doing music videos and just not my deal. I want to shoot, fashion. Go make a fashion spec ad, work with what kind of brands you want to work with, whether that be small or large, and either shoot one for free for a small brand or shoot one that's completely spec for a larger brand. The point of this is honestly to have somebody come to you in 6 to 12 months, maybe even longer, up to 2 or 3 years later, and go, hey, I saw this on your channel, or I saw this on your website. I really like it. I want this to be the same style. Can you do this for me? And that's the response you'll get. You really want people coming to you, as well as you can share that also, because if somebody's like, hey, do you have a reel? Yeah, here's my general cinematography reel, and here's a project I shot, because you don't have a reel for that specific niche that you want to get into. That's the first thing you should be doing when it comes to spec ads. Now, the second point is kind of what you would think it is. It's to create something that fits your style with high quality. There's a lot of times that you might shoot something that is in your niche that you want to be doing, but it's very low budget and you're just not able to do it to the quality that you want to as a DP, or maybe it doesn't quite fit your style of color grading or cinematography and you're fitting the project or the director's vision, which you should be doing. So shoot a spec ad that fits you, so that way people hire you for your style and not for the style they've seen you do for others. As far as creating short films go, storytelling and doing that through cinematography is obviously a go-to. If you're trying to work as a commercial music video or feature film DP, short films are a great way to show that you can tell a story with a camera. Lots of times music videos and commercials and other types of filmmaking do this to an extent, but just not as high of a degree as you can with a short film, just because it's literally a short version of a feature. It's very, very much meant to emulate that long form in a short format, and the better you do that, the more likely you are to get hired. Short films are also great ways to just update your reel. Hey, I've gotten better as a DP because I've been shooting other projects, but I haven't done a narrative film in a while. Let me shoot one so I can show people what I'm capable of. I find that that is probably the best way to use short films as an aspiring DP or an up-and-coming DP. It can really show off what you're capable of. However, doing this on somebody else's project is probably better than your own. That way, you're not the writer, director, producer, and all that. You want to be a part of a whole, and sometimes finding somebody else's project, a friend, or somebody who's in film school, to kind of grab onto that and go, hey, I want to be your DP. I'm willing to do it for cheap or free. I just want to do this, this, and this, and have these shots for my reel. Great way to do it. This next point is a little bit more moral, but it is just as practical as the rest because it keeps getting you hired. It's gotten me hired, and it's just dropped the ego. I used to be, and still sometimes can be, rather egotistical. I'll just go out and say it. Sometimes I can feel like I'm a little bit better than other people around me, and that's obviously not the right way to think anywhere, but I think it's especially prevalent in the film space, especially the online film space. People just tend to think, oh, I got this many views, I'm better. There was recently a commercial where they hired some TikTok influencer to, like, I mean, millions of followers, TikTok influencer. They hired them to, that was a loud truck, oh my gosh. All right, this is why I don't tend to film outside my house, but hey, here we are. Anywho, this TikTok influencer, right? Millions of followers, they were hired for this pretty big budget commercial. The entire crew walked out because they could not direct. Unable to manage a crew and carry them, had this huge ego about them, incited that, hey, I know everything, I'm in charge, I'm carrying the vision. In my opinion, that was a poor hiring choice, but honestly, the director could have been respectful of everybody else around them and aware that, you know what, hey, I'm not the smartest person here, I'm not the best person here, let me listen to what the DP and producers and other people around me have to say. That goes double for DPs. You ride the line, literally. If you don't know what that means, then definitely don't have an ego, I suppose. But whether you are under or over the line is a little bit of like, you know, it's a toss-up depending on the project, honestly. But hey, don't be egotistical. One day you might be a content creator, the next a DP of a TV commercial, and the next a wedding filmmaker. I think it's just wise to overall just have a sense of humility and, hey, let me just listen to what others have to say. You know what, I don't have to insert my vision left, right, and center. Let me let things go as they should go. People will hire you again for that because they're like, hey, you know, that guy Sean, he didn't have an ego on him. He was really good and he probably could have made things better. Maybe this time around we'll listen to him a little bit more, but he didn't insert himself when he wasn't asked to and when it wasn't his place to. I appreciate that and respect it. Hire him again. That happens, and it has happened to me, and I've been told I've been hired again because somebody relayed that I could have a little bit of an ego, and then I was on set and I wasn't egotistical and I let everybody do their job and I let other people, you know, do my job. That can be a thing that sometimes, hey, do you want to operate the camera for a little bit? Dropping the ego can help. Don't be that guy. I know that was a little bit ranty. The next point certainly isn't, but I just wanted to talk from a personal standpoint. I kind of just ignored my notes because it's a personal thing to me. I can have a trouble with humility and pridefulness, and I know that a lot of other people can too. I just wanted to share that kind of openly because I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't struggle with being humble as well, because I certainly do. Okay, last but not least, how to get better. Plain and simple, set a goal for every project you work on. There are some things I do. I like to set a goal. For instance, in this video, you've seen me use different apertures, different angles, different locations, and was there anything else I did? Different lighting. I used a lot of different lighting actually. Even in the outdoor shots, I was putting up diffusion. In that last one you saw me outside, I had diffusion overhead to soften things up because I wanted a particular framing, but I wasn't in the shade, so I grabbed some diffusion. That's just a goal I set for a lot of my YouTube videos and a lot of projects in general. We've talked about mundane projects in this video, jobs that you do that maybe you don't love doing. You know, I want to be a music video DP and a feature film DP, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. But you have to do weddings and you have to do social media content for small businesses because that's what keeps you alive. Then find something to do in that wedding. Oh, I'm gonna try and use my gimbal like this, or I'm gonna try and just shoot handheld, or I'm gonna try and do more tripod shots. Test things like that, test lighting, test angles, test focal lengths, different lenses. That will make you better. So when it comes time to shoot that music video, comes time to shoot that feature film or short film, you are more comfortable in your own skin with doing different stuff because you've practiced in areas where you can practice. It's hard to practice on set. It's just not easy. Sometimes there's no time, no budget, no room for errors. Practice where you can, test out new things, learn. On to kind of the end of the video, and this is probably the most important part. And just honestly, you really have to love this to do it as a career. Every artistic career is difficult, and we've probably all heard the term starving artist. And sometimes this term gets warped into not quite what it means. And people will say that, oh, a starving artist is starving for work. They need work because they're not getting work. And yes, that can be true, I suppose. But that just means you're not hungry enough for work. The real meaning of that term is you're hungry physically, like you're a starving artist. You are trying all you can and you're hungry and you can't do it. And I've been there. There are plenty of stories of A-list actors in particular. This is like more true with actors, I suppose, but A-list actors, A-list, you know, singer-songwriter types who literally were trying to make it and they had no money, they had no food. You know, they were waiting tables and asking the kitchen staff to, you know, make an extra plate by accident just so they could eat. That's a weirdly common story. I've been there myself where I've just had little to no money in my bank account going, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for gas this week. I donated plasma in college a lot in order to just make ends meet, to be honest, and to be able to do what I wanted to do and able to, you know, get where I need to get. In all honesty, plasma paid for gas for quite a long time. My final thing on how to get better is just take the L's. You will take a lot of L's in your career. Take them knowing a W is coming. I mean, you're gonna take L's. A W will come at some point. Just take an L, take an L, take an L, and think of it as, okay, I lost again, woohoo, I'm one step closer. You know, lost that contract, whatever, I'm one step closer to getting a contract. Oh, that, you know, didn't pay well. Oh well, I'm one step closer to getting paid really well. Oh, I didn't do a good job on that project. Okay, well, I'm one step closer to doing a really good job on a different project. If that's your mindset, you will go further, you will last longer, and you won't get burnout nearly as easily as everyone else around you. And honestly, when it comes to it, saving money to do short films and spec ads are easy W's to get. It's so easy to be like, okay, I saved up $2,000, now I'm gonna shoot a short film. That's an easy dub to get. It's super hard to like crash and burn on a short film you've been working on for 12 months or longer. Hey, we've written the script, we've hired the people, you know, I got a lot of friends who are working on it for free, we're gonna shoot it, we've got our location, we got our actors. If you built that up over a long period of time, that's like a guaranteed dub. Super easy to get. That's about all I have for this video. If you guys have any tips for other people or myself, honestly, I'm always learning. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Leave that in the comments below. If you haven't liked and subscribed, you've made it this far, thank you guys for watching, and until next time.